With Derivan Liquid Pencil, you can get graphite into your art without ever taking a pencil in your hand. It's an entirely new medium of graphite ink that's easy to use in a myriad of mixed media techniques. It comes with a special tip that can be used in direct applications, or it can also be used to directly fill tools. Sketching ink can also be used to ink rubber stamps with a dip pen as pen ink, or as a paint. The rewettable formula can be manipulated using traditional tools like erasers and blending stumps, and the permanent can be burnished to a lovely sheen using a bone folder or the back of a spoon. First, I'm going to show you how to apply this to a stamp. You can do this a couple of different ways. You could put the ink onto an uninked foam stamp pad and stamp that way, or you could also use a makeup sponge or other to use it and apply the ink that way. Both work equally well. I'm just going to ink up my stamp here. And I am using the rewettable ink right now. You could do this with permanent as well, and stamping that right to the paper. So now I'm starting off with a lovely sketch. The different things that you can do to manipulate this are, while it's wet or even dry with the rewettable ink, using a wet brush. So that's one thing you can do. You can do this with either rewettable or the permanent, activating it with water as soon as it's stamped on. Once the ink has dried, which doesn't take very long, you can also use a blending stump, and this blends out just like a pencil would. Allows you to have more freedom of flexibility when using stamps in your work to make them a little more your own. So you can see how easy it is to just blend that out just like a regular pencil. And then also, like with a regular pencil, you can lift off the sketching ink using an eraser. So that's how you would use the rewettable. Some different things that you can do with that. Done using the permanent sketching ink, which I activated with water as soon as I stamped it. Then I used some on a palette, which I'll show you. I just squeezed a little bit out onto a palette. And then I used a wet brush to pick it up and applied it just like a paint. It's very easy to work with. You can see the graphite sheen as soon as you start playing with it. Very, very nice. With the permanent, you're going to want to make sure you rinse your brushes out right away and any tools right away, because it is permanent once it's dried. The rewettable reactivates, so you can actually let it dry and then go back and use the dried ink just like you would a watercolor. The other thing that's fun to do is to take some of it and go ahead and use it with a dip pen. And again, I'll squirt a little out here. And then I'm just going to take my dip pen and fill it. And then you can use it to write on your work. Easy. Another fun tool is a little Cornell fine liner tool. This comes with a little well that you can directly fill with a special nozzle. And you can use this the same way. You can use it to add design elements, and it just writes like a pen. When the permanent ink dries, some of this is permanent and some of it's rewettable. So when it's all done, if I just take a bone folder and simply run it over the top, and you could use the back of a spoon or even the back of your fingernail to do this, even a soft cloth would work, and you can just burnish it, and you get a lovely graphite sheen to the permanent, which is really nice. See that sheen that comes out just from burnishing it a little bit. So there's multiple uses for the sketching ink. You can also, once it's dry, apply color over the top using watercolors and things like that. So if you wanted to add color to this, you most certainly could. And it just takes your journaling to a whole new place. The look of graphite is so lovely and soft, and adding the look of sketching with stamps makes for a very easy journaling idea. And then you can play back and forth with paint or anything else on top and just add lovely color to your work along with this wonderful graphite ink. You'll try my new sketching ink. It comes in both permanent and rewettable. It's a fun new medium to play with, and it's like nothing else that's out there. Thanks for watching.